in a season that almost gave us everything from trophies to great players to goals to assists to history being made. Orlando Pirates winning the league after 14 years, Mamelodi Sundowns winning their second CAF Champions League title in 10 years. This has been a season to remember. But which are the players that were signed that made an impact, or they didn't really make an impact, but the transfer was so big that everyone was talking about it? Let's get into those transfers and see which is the biggest deal of the season. One of the underrated players in the Betway Premiership, Brooklyn Monnapule, but he has so much to prove himself. I believe next season, especially if he's still at Devon City, where there's room for him to improve, where there's room for him to make mistakes and rectify them, he still has to prove. At 26 years old, he can still go on and prove himself. He plays the same position as Teboho Mokoena and the players like Talenta Bata. He's a defensive midfielder, and I wish we were both could have taken him to the World Cup under the guidance of Mokoena and Mbata, so that he can absorb as much as possible from those players and see what makes them so special, what makes them so big. Brooklyn Monnapule has helped Devon City to win the Nedbank Cup this season. He broke my heart in the final of the Nedbank Cup, ensuring DS Galaxy doesn't win the Nedbank Cup. He guided that team to glory on their first stint in the Betway Premiership, and they finished inside the top eight, all thanks to him. Not only him, yes, other players in the team has contributed, but he's been central to that team. Kevin Hunt didn't make a mistake when he took Bull from Siwelele to Devon City. This is one of the prolific signings that happened this season. Lebo Maboye arrived in a Kaizer Chiefs that has been operating on a cut and paste for far too long. Every match day, the team doesn't have a solid starting 11. He positioned himself as a reliable person when it comes to being picked in Kaizer Chiefs. Under the guidance of Coach Nabi, remember Lebo Mabuya arrived in August last year in 2025, and from Sundowns. A lot of us criticized Kaizer Chiefs again for their free agent signing. After his contract ended in Mamelodi Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs called him to join the team. He did join the team, and we criticized Kaizer Chiefs, not knowing that this is a signing that will bear so much fruit, and he helped Kaizer Chiefs so much. This is one of those players that I believe if he wasn't at Kaizer Chiefs, the team could have struggled. He helped that team so much, and the next coach should look into maybe building his team around Maboe, a player like Mduduzi Shabalala, your Brendan Peterson, and should they return Silva as a striker, Silva should also be central in that team, because of these are the players who have been reliable at Kaizer Chiefs. But for me, an outstanding signing by Kaizer Chiefs when it comes to Lebu Maboe. The most talk about signing of the season. This has to be, if my next two signings didn't make that much of an impact, this for me was gonna be the signing of the season. Not because of Saleng came into Sundown and made big things happen. He didn't. He really didn't make things happen at Sundowns. But maybe it's because of he arrived in a team that is star-studded. A team that has so much to offer. A team that on its own can challenge with or without Saleh. But if you remember what happened between Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs and George Malulega in the 2019-2020 season, for Mamelodi Sundowns, they tried to replicate that, to shake off Orlando Pirates by taking Saleh. But remember, Saleh didn't go directly from Orlando Pirates to Mamelodi Sundowns. He was loaned to Orbit while he was still at Orbit. Sundowns tabled an offer that Orlando Pirates couldn't refuse. And because of Pirates, look at their team also, and they thought, we don't really need this player. And they weren't sure that he's one of the players who will be back at the team. And Saleng comes to Sundowns in the same transfer window that Mbekezeli Mbogazi went to Chicago Fire in the United States of America. The same transfer that is fueled by the Mamelodi Sundowns sporting director, Flaming Bag. Flaming Bag is the one who played a hand in Mbekezeli Mbogazi leaving Orlando Pirates to Chicago Fire, if you didn't know. So Sundowns tried so much to shake off Orlando Pirates this season in their league title race, because they could see that this team is not stopping at any point. But for a signing that is maybe big in money and it was controversial, this has to be one of the signings of the season, because even most of us didn't really see this one coming. The journalists, we knew about this signing the day it happened, the day it was published. Other than that, none of us knew, none of us saw it coming. When it comes to Brayan Leon, I will be honest. Should he have arrived not not in the middle of the season? Should he have not arrived in January? I was gonna tell you for free that this was gonna be the top signing of the season compared to the next player that I think is the signing of the season. Because of Leon just arrived in January and he set the Betway Premiership on fire. He scored goals. I mean, he has played 15 matches. Leon has played 15 league matches and he scored 15 goals in 10 goals in the season in the league. And he played 10 matches in the CAF Champions League and he scored 5 goals in CAF Champions League. He has 1 goal in Nedbank Cup. So all in all, Brayan Leon has played about 27 matches this season and he has scored 17 goals with 3 assists. That tells you how much of an impact he has. He came into Mamelodi Sundowns from Independent Medellin. He's a Colombian. Oh man, this, like, when I tell people this is one of my favorite players this season, they don't understand how much I appreciate players like Leon. Players who are so much developed. Like when you watch Leon play, you get joy. These are the strikers that we need in a Betway Premiership. I wish we had a pure South African striker who emulates this kind, the way Leon plays. Leon gotta be in the top 2 of the signings that happened this season. Mamelodi Sundowns here didn't miss. And Mamelodi Sundowns barely miss, especially when they sign players from Asia, from North America, actually Mamelodi Sundowns barely miss when it comes to their signings, when it comes to their overseas signings. They can miss by signing a player like Saleng from Orlando Pirates and who joins Sundowns and they don't hit the ground running. But most of their overseas players do so well. So Brayan Leon, another best signing that happened this season. This move happened controversially. In the beginning of the season, Appollis was known to be going to Kaizer Chiefs according to the rumors, according to reports. When you open Facebook, when you open Twitter, when you open TikTok, Appollis was going to Kaizer Chiefs. All of a sudden, later on, Appollis, just weeks before Orlando Pirates was departing to go to Spain for their pre-season camp, Appollis was being announced by Orlando Pirates. Like, wow. And bear in mind, at that time, Orlando Pirates still hasn't announced their coach yet, if I remember well. So it's as if Coach Wadu signed Appollis while he wasn't yet announced by Orlando Pirates. And this signing has to be so big, it has to be the signing of the season because of the impact that this player has bring to the team. His first match against his former club in the MTN 8 Polokwane City against Orlando Pirates at Orlando Stadium. I remember watching that match. I was there. He created a penalty. He scored a penalty. He was operating. And he hasn't only been operating for Orlando Pirates only this season. He has operated for Bafana Bafana. He went to AFCON. He was one of the main players there. Even now, we knew going to the World Cup that a player like Appollis, he is one of the players who can be left behind. So this for me gotta be the signing of the season and helping it and coming as a newbie into a big team like Orlando Pirates, coming from a team like Polokwane City, to be the main player in the middle. Orlando Pirates is strong when it comes to midfielders. Across most of the seasons, Orlando Pirates are known to have good midfielders. And to come into that team and become one of the best midfielders in the team and in the league. Because I believe Oswin stand a good chance to win a player of the season. Helping a team also after 14 years to win the Betway Premiership. This has made a serious impact this signing has made a serious impact this season in our league. He has been operating. Teams have been suffering because of Oswin Appollis. So for me, this gotta be the signing of the season. I don't know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments if you have any signing of the season that you think that this is number 1.